Hey, all right, friends. Well, I got another video for you to do. Oh my gosh, look at all the white on my beard has gotten so white. Oh, okay, much better. I'm not that old. Well, I am old. Lord have mercy. I don't know about you, but I'm having fun doing these video blurps. I gotta say, oh my heavens, they're such a blast. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. God. Anyway, I hope you're liking them too. Comments, by the way, DocSouthShow at yahoo.com. That's my email, DocSouthShow at yahoo.com. I guess you can post comments on the videos too, can't you? I think you can. Okay. But I hardly ever read them. Probably just as well, DocSouthShow at yahoo.com. Remember, I have books available too. You can always inquire or go to my website, DocSouthShow.com, www.docsouthshow.com. Here's one I wrote the other day. I think it's posted. I know I posted it, but I didn't read it for you. So I'm going to do it now. It's kind of a neat little story called The Ugly Bagel. Okay. Well, it was, here we go. It was my day off today, and like I often do, I ran into a local supermarket and moseyed up and down the aisles looking for some stuff for a cooking project. I was thinking about baking a meatloaf until I spotted a nice-looking pot roast that they had on sale in the meat department. My wheels started turning. Yes, they did. Let's see. So first I had to check with the butcher to see if this particular cut of beef had pot roast potential. The guy behind the counter told me that indeed it did. He even went so far to say that since this particular cut was on sale since this past weekend, his wife had him bring one home for Sunday dinner. Word is that his family left no survivors on the serving platter. That was all I needed to hear. It seemed to me that I was spending $8 wisely. The butcher hollered to me as I headed down the aisle to checkout. He wanted to tell me that I'd be smart to get an onion, a few potatoes, and a handful of carrots. He also said that I'd be wise to snag a package of, what do you call it, McCormick's pot roast slow cooker sauce. It would be money well spent, he told me, and other than that, he wished me well and a hearty bon appetit as I made my way to checkout lane number 3. I took a detour on my way to the checkout area. I often do. When I'm in this store, I just can't help hitting the bakery department. I have a firm rule to eat a donut every day. Okay. This is especially true since I've been losing weight. I mean, I don't want to waste away to nothing and be this little guy standing in one of my shoes trying on doll clothes. No. Be an interesting movie, but yeah, okay. But not a great way to live. Donuts keep this from happening. I think of them as vitamins. And this particular store had a nice heavy hand with the chocolate icing. Yes, they did. Yes, sir. Gosh, wait a minute. I see we're getting okay, that's better. So I found myself trying to decide between a jack-o'-lantern donut with orange icing and chocolate trim, or maybe instead an old standby all-chocolate custard filled. I went with both. Yes, I did. As I was bagging my 2 prizes, my eyes strayed to the bagel bin. Usually it's full to the top with bagels of all kinds. It was almost lunchtime, so I wasn't surprised to see that most of the bagels were gone. I thought how by now they were all on trays at offices around town, surrounding little bowls of various kinds of cream cheese and butter. People were probably telling each other how they were on diets, and they'd have maybe just half a bagel with the diet spread and sweet and low, please, in the coffee. Let's see. Got to scroll this up. Okay. The place makes great bagels. They really do. I figured the dieters would somehow think of a way when no one was looking to gobble down a full bagel in one bite as they scooped the pumpkin spiced flavored cream cheese out of the bowl with their fingers. Yeah, when no one's looking. Right. All the while, my eyes roamed over the bagel bins. There was only one bagel left, and it was a pretty ugly bagel at that. First thing I noticed was that it wasn't round. Picture that you were, well, here, picture this. Picture that you were going to draw a stick figure of a round-faced witch with a bent witch hat on her head that was bent on the hat was bent on the top. Oh, and the witch had big pimples all over her cheeks. Yeah, the bagel was supposed to be an everything bagel, but the seasoning was mostly on the bagel's bottom, stuck fast in clumps. The right half of the bagel was very dark brown. It seemed like it must have gotten stuck on the oven rack for too long. There was no char, but still it was very, very brown. The other side was swollen. Maybe that side got stuck in the water vat for too long. I don't know. I don't know everything about making bagels, but this one, boy, sure had a rough birth. Wow, was it ever ugly. Still, there was something about it. It was the only one left. I felt sorry for it. The voice in my head said that I should take it home, if nothing else, just to be nice, just to be kind. To make a long story short, I walked away and then stopped and turned around. I took another look and decided, well, leave it there, just be on my way. I turned to go, and then I turned to look back at the bagel. I must have done that 8 times. I think the bakers were about to call security. It took about 5 long minutes of this stuff, but eventually I got out a clear plastic bagel bag and stuffed the darn thing into the sack. I made a beeline for the checkout line before I could change my mind. I think the cashier gave me a damaged goods discount. Yeah, she thought maybe I should go back and see if the bakers had some better bagels. Boy, that's hard. The bakers had some better bagels in the back room. I told her that my mind was made up and headed out into the parking lot. At home, I got busy preparing the pot roast. I got busy preparing the pot roast. The bagel in its bag sat quietly on top of the refrigerator and watched me work. I got so busy with making the pot roast, writing a story, finding a roof leak, and honestly, thoughts of the bagel never entered my mind. I was just too busy. In fact, I was so busy that I actually forgot about lunch. No wonder I'm losing weight. Yeah. Later in the day, Sandy was having a bowl of stewed cauliflower for her lunch when it hit me that I hadn't had my lunch. She's on this kick to put some meat on my bones, and I soon felt the heat reserved for those who skip lunch. I told her how I was busy, and anyhow, there's nothing in the house to eat. She wasn't impressed with my saying that I'd eat extra pot roast at supper time. Her evil eye was starting to glow. I had to come up with something. It was then that I remembered the ugly bagel. Before Sandy could blow her top, I ran into the kitchen and grabbed the bagel bag. I brought it out for Sandy's approval. She gasped. Yeah, she let out a gasp as she looked it over. I remember her exact words. "That's a bagel? My God, why did you buy it? Maybe you shouldn't eat it. Let me make you a nice grilled cheese." I think she was afraid I'd poison myself. I had to fight back and defend my purchase, trying to be nice. I told Sandy how it was the only bagel left in the bin, and I felt so sorry for it just lying there all alone. It didn't seem right the way I saw it. I thought out loud how it kind of looked tasty to me. Sandy told me that I was certifiable. She might be right. And went into the living room to watch television with our basset hound Millie. For the first time ever, even Millie wasn't really that interested in my lunch plans. She went into the living room with Sandy and plopped down, sighing on her blanket. That left the bagel and me all alone in the kitchen. The only thing I could think of to do was to get out a knife and slice the poor thing in half and stick it in the toaster. I kept thinking about how bad could it be. Sure, it's ugly and kind of crumpled, but it's still a bagel. God knows it sure smelled good. I thought it's pretty hard to spoil an everything bagel. At least it's as fresh as can be. I'll load it up with butter instead of margarine. That'll help. Well, while the bagel was toasting, I made a nice cup of coffee. Funny, but the smell of the bagel and the aroma of the coffee mixed together and filled the room with a nice smelling scent. The scent was so alluring that Millie actually woke up and raised her head to look around. Soon she was galloping as best as a basset hound can gallop, heading for the kitchen. Sandy turned down the television and looked over her shoulder. Yeah, and took a little whiff. Yeah, pretty soon my 2 girls were in the kitchen drooling on my shoulder. Well, Sandy was drooling on my shoulder. Millie was drooling on my shoes. As luck would have it, that ugly bagel, all soaked in butter, was the best darn bagel we've ever had. The folks that passed it by, darn, they missed out. My hunch was on target. Now I'm too full to eat the pot roast right now. But before I eat the pot roast, I think maybe I'll mosey down to that supermarket again, right down the street, and see if they got some more ugly bagels. They'd be great for sopping up the gravy. There you go. The Ugly Bagel. And I hope you enjoyed it. Boy, look at all that sun in my face. My heavens. Well, eventually we're going to get a camera set up, like a phone camera, so that we can, turn things around, and you'll get, I think, better video. Yeah. So, all in due time. Well, friends, thank you, and God bless. Go get a bagel now, and don't give a darn if it's an ugly bagel. It'll probably be the best bagel you ever ate. All right. Bye now.